Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. Been really busy with real life. However, I've just found the opportunity to join a little draft league. It's in the Draftarig server. I battled with them before. Some of my older videos, they were called Spear Pillar before. I think my Rage Against the Clock video was in their Discord. So I battled here before, but I haven't come back after a long time since I haven't really been battling much. I almost really quit for a little bit. But now I'm back, and I guess I'll be uploading a little bit more. There's more stuff coming, more stuff that I have planned, especially in Cobblemon now. So look out for that, guys. Also, I don't know if I think my voice is sounding off. So if my voice sounds off, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, to begin with, this draft league has been going on for I think 11 weeks or something like that or something. But yeah, it's a fight every week and it's a draft. So this is the team that I drafted. As you can tell, we're allowed uber level mons. So I picked Kyurem White. Other people have way more broken stuff. Like you see my opponent's team, he has Darkrai and Basculesian and Tornadus. So his team's pretty strong. However, there's a lot of nuanced stuff like Terra. I mean, not Terra. Well, Terra is nerfed to an extent. Only weak Pokemon can use it, and you only get one Terra that can Terra outside of its type. In my case, mine was Minior, and it chose Terra Water. You'll see it did not prove to be that useful, but it was definitely a thing I had. Um, but yeah, the C moves weren't allowed, but it's basically just Natex with a couple Ubers. You might have also noticed that in my current team I have Kyurem Black, but in this team loadout I have Kyurem White listed. I did change it eventually because somebody else picked Kyurem White before I did. My original plan for my main team was to bring Snow with Slowking Galarian, so that was why he was my first pick. I just wanted a good defensive mon that could set up Snow. Then I was just going to pick one of the Kyurems and just use them. Unfortunately, Kyurem White got picked first, and someone else picked regular Kyurem, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll go with the Kyurem Black then. And then obviously Mega Lopunny helps a lot to get rid of those steel types with Kyurem. So my main core of those three I got really early, so it was pretty strong. I used them in every single fight. And the rest of the team is just kind of utility and balance just to help my team happen. Unfortunately, as I learned later on, because of all the band mons that are present, it's really a lot better to be playing more aggressive and more offensive. So being so defensive kind of put me behind in a lot of games. So it was a big weakness of my team that it was a little bit too defensive. But yeah, let's get right to the battles then. So I'm only be doing the first 4 weeks. My last battle was a forfeit, so it's only going to be 3 battles. But yeah. Also, my bad if I don't remember my sets or my calcs that I did. This all happened months ago, so I don't remember. But yeah, here's the battle. So my strat against this guy was hoping to just get Shell Smash and just kill 1 or 2 of his mons. That kind of does happen here. But as you'll see, Minior gets hit pretty early. And, I mean, I got the damage off, but I think, yeah, Helmet lets it off. I just wanted to get off Slowking, because Slowking was pretty good against Lopunny. So getting it out early was pretty good for me. Here I'm just pivoting around. I like to play really defensive. You'll see what my opponent's doing. I like to play safe. So I'm kind of just pivoting around, figuring stuff out. Trying to get pivots and advantages where I can. Here I go for a double switch. I was thinking he might have been Scarf. So I didn't want to risk that because I needed Lopunny. So I just went into Fortress, which Fortress, in most of the games, it was just it was a punching bag, basically. He just got hit and made sure my other guys didn't die. So he didn't really have to do much. But yeah, here I'm just messing around with Rotom, just trying to position myself. Now here, I get to get a substitute off. So I get to do Dragon Dances. Now I do remember what the part happens next. So I was calculating if I could even sweep him with Dragon Dance. And the issue is that Titan actually tanks it tanks it quite well. So here I'm overthinking it because he's also Terra Fairy. I know he's Terra Fairy. So I'm like, okay, what if he Terra Fairies and I do the wrong thing? So I should have just gone for damage, but I was overthinking it. I forgot I had an Ice Shard. But here you turn out. This is kind of a big threat now because I don't really have much for it. I have Slow King, but yeah, Earthquake and Sludge Bomb doesn't even do that much. So I'm just kind of pivot around, trying to do what I can. Uh, but he's hitting me hard, and I gotta play smart because I need my guys healthy because otherwise I just get swept by Basculegion and the other guy, Darkrai. But here I'm playing a little bit too safe, just pivoting around, trying to kill this thing slowly. Uh, I'm running Protect a lot often as well on my Rotom, just because I'm really scared of like all the broken stuff that people have. So I'm just running Protect just to see what they have, as opposed to like Pain Split or Defog. I just want to see what people have before I make my choices. So I'm just playing that Protect really smart. Here I'm a little bit confused because I do remember this. I count the damage on the Basculegion and noticed it wasn't banded. So I was just trying to figure out what it was since he was Aqua Jet. I thought maybe he had some kind of berry or something, but we'll see later on what happens. Um, but yeah, here I'm just trying to play around. I just try to kill it. I think I'm just sacking. No, I'm keeping that alive. I just need to get in on this Darkrai. At this point, I'm just sacking as well because I was up by 1 mon. So if we keep trading back and forth, I should come out on top. Main issue is the Tornadus has a lot of health, and I don't really deal with it quite well, even with Rotom, because it tanks the Volt Switch. But yeah, here the Basculegion is pretty scary, and here I get the idea that he's Scarf, because he wasn't banded. I calced it wasn't banded. So I'm thinking, okay, he's probably Scarf here, so I'm gonna try to play against that. And here they try to taunt me on my Protect, so I just get damage off. Trying to heal my Slowking, trying to keep it healthy. Here I'm just trying to get damage because I'm up again, so I'm just like, okay, Future Sight. But here they try to read again because I think they probably thought that I was gonna go into Lopunny in the last respects. But I'm just like, okay, Slowking did its job. It's probably gonna do a lot with Future Sight. So I do that, go back in. I knew I could live the Psychic Rings because I calced it. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to try to take out this Tornadus. Because I think at this point, my chances of winning are pretty high. So I'm just trying to play it safe. I was just trying to pump. Just try to kill the Tornadus. Because I know the Rotom basically beats the other guy pretty easily. And I think at this point, I realized I can just sack Lopunny. And at this point, he can't really click a move that doesn't kill both. So I don't think he had Liquidation. I think he had like I'm not sure why he had Aqua Jet, but yeah, Aqua Jet would not help him in this situation against Rotom. So Rotom clutches us this. You might notice in all the games, they're all super close. They're all down to the wire. And that one was close, but that was our first game. Now this next game is week 2. This guy had some pretty strong stuff. I don't remember exactly what else he had on his team, but I remember teching for like a lot and was really worried about Jellicent because it kind of dealt with the ice moves and stuff like that, and he had a lot of tanking stuff that could really deal with Kyurem quite well. So I was really scared of it because I feel like Kyurem would only sweep if I got like 2 dragons and stuff, and he could also revenge kill me with Scarf Naganadel. Naganadel is actually pretty scary against my team. I think that's I guess a certain coverage move that gets rid of Slowking. So I think just to be safe, I think I Assault Vested it this time. But yeah, I was being very wary because Naganadel is scary and Celesteela is kind of hard to break. But yeah, I also, to be crazy this game, I brought Specs Rotom because I thought he could do a lot of damage to a lot of his guys, and he wouldn't want to switch in his Jellicent to Rotom all the time. So that's why I decided that. Here I predicted that he would try to go for the Motor Drive, so I go for the Specs. Here I also get confused because I see the Volt Switch. I'm like, okay, what's really going on? So I'm just kind of spamming the pump. Maybe I'm thinking he doesn't know that I have Specs, but it's kind of obvious considering that damage. But here I'm just trying to tank because I'm kind of realizing now I don't really have much to break this Jellicent as long as Electivire is alive, because I can't really change around my moves, and he has 2 immune mons to the Rotom, so it's kind of an issue. I think here I try to double out. Yeah, I try to double out because I think he's going to switch, but he doesn't switch, so it's kind of worrisome. I think I just chilly reception here. Nope, I just going for the poison. Yeah, I was just trying to poison here because I wasn't really sure what to do. I knew I could just switch around back and forth because I could heal myself, but in the long term, I wasn't losing that 1v1. Here, I forgot he was Terra Grass, so I'm like, oh, damn. I just lost Rotom, and I kind of needed it to break Jellicent. So here, I'm just kind of spam close combat, try to get some damage off. Because, yeah, that Celesteela is going to be an issue. And here, just gets Leech Seed, do whatever it wants. I'm just going to pivot again, like I usually do. Try to get more damage off. Close combat is just guaranteed damage on anything. So I'm just going to click it. Now here the Mr. Mime is Scarf. So I'm like, oh, whoa. And I think I'm kind of screwed. But then I'm like, wait a sec. Here I can just sub up. And then it's like, he can't really do much. So I feel like if he Dazzling Gleamed, maybe he could have won from there. But I mean, he was also worried about all the other 2 mons that tank Dazzling Gleam. So I can see why he went for Psychic. But now, it just kind of lets me sweep with the sub. Because, yeah, here I'm just like, okay, yeah, he might switch or something. So I go for another sub. I knew I could get away for another sub. So I just went away with it. But here was the Wackenberry. But unfortunately, it does not help. And as you can see from the entire team, there's not much you can really do. The ice coverage just hits everything. Kyurem is a really threatening mon, so that was kind of what I was banking on a lot of these games. Used to have Kyurem sweep, because the ice electric coverage is just very nasty. Here, this next game, it gets really interesting. I do a couple chokes, but it's okay. I think here my plan is Choice Band Golem, and I'm kind of planning on just taking out what I can, and already off the bat, I get rid of the Tornadus, which is exciting. But here, I kind of forget what Torterra does, so I'm like, oh, it's Shell Smash. And now it's Terra Ground, so I'm like, oh crap, what do I even do here? So yeah, he dies, and here I have Sucker Punch, but for some reason I forget that about the Bullet Seed, and I was like, oh, I'll just tank it, and I'll go for the Earthquake with the thing, but then I just even forget that because I am Scarf, so I could have outspent the whole time, so I just lost Golem for no reason there. Then here Chimp Pow's even scarier, because I lose a guy every single time Chimp Pow's out. And I'm not really sure what this Oricorio is going to do, so I'm kind of threatened by it as well. The Quiver Dance against, it's kind of hard. Don't really got much against it. And now it's just Quiver Dancing. So I don't really know what to do. I'm like, okay, I think I calced here that I tanked. So I tank it, and I'm just like, okay, Icicle Spear. Take it out. But even then, I'm just behind 1 Mon. So I'm just losing guys every single time. But I go into Moltres. I live the Icicle Crash. So here I'm just kind of trying to fire because I think it'll be better against the Icicle Crashes. I can switch into them better. But here's the major mistake that I did. I overthought this. I didn't think he would... For some reason, I didn't think he would bring Empoleon. So I didn't bring Close Combat on my Lopunny. And let me tell you, that's one of my biggest mistakes. Because as you will see here in a second, it definitely did matter. I'm trying to scare him out here. I'm trying to be like, yeah, I have the Close Combat. You should switch. But he's not switching. So I'm just clicking return. I think at this point he probably realizes, oh shit, yeah, this guy didn't bring it. So I kind of go out sad here, especially considering if I kill that Empoleon, I could have maybe swept with Scarf Kyurem. I think yeah, I think with Dragon Move, I had Outrage. I could have swept. So, yeah, that was just my big mistake for not bringing Close Combat. That's going to be it for week 4. Well, 1 through 4, like I said, uh, week 4 was a forfeit. There was some scheduling issues, so that couldn't happen. So look out for the next battles. The next battles do get pretty crazy, especially the playoffs matches. The playoffs matches, I decide to bring some crazy tech, so make sure to look out for that. All right, guys, egg out.